Tesla, right, one of the most valuable companies in the world, Elon and I decided to go into working in space together. And we went out there and we're like, we're doing private space. And people laughed us out of the room. If everyone thinks you're crazy, that's an opportunity for you to change the perceptions, to change reality, and turn it into what you believe is right.
What is your view on Asia startup, like especially in Indonesia?
Anyway, it's very interesting times, a beautiful time to start a business.
That's true. It's really the best time because right now there's so many problems in the world, and every problem is actually an opportunity, right? If we have the solution for that problem, it's actually an opportunity. And entrepreneur basically is the solutions to solve all those problems. And I like the way you mentioned impact, because again, we know entrepreneur, we have to earn income, but eventually it's not just about the income, but the impact that we create to the world, to this society, right? That's the one that really matters.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because you just touched on probably one of the biggest misperceptions in the world today. Okay. A lot of people think, and especially in developing countries, right? And Indonesia, is coming up very quickly. The development's amazing. It's really a beautiful place in the world in many ways. It has improvements, of course, but we all have improvements, right? So a lot of people believe, hey, you got to make money, and then impact is different, right? And a lot of people then assume that if you're going to have impact, it's got to be a non-profit, right? Because it can't make money and have impact. And that's just actually, remember we were talking before, if you're open-minded, you see the world the way it is. And if you're closed-minded, everything fits your mental model. So the idea that you can't have a very profitable business that is impactful is a mental model that is wrong, right? And you could argue Tesla, right, one of the most valuable companies in the world, right, it's a car company on one hand, but honestly, it's the only reason he's doing it is because he wants to make cars that are environmentally amazing to the planet. So his charging network runs on solar wherever possible, right? So that you don't even need to burn fossil fuels or use nuclear fuels to charge the vehicles in the public charging places. So he's creating Elon is creating Tesla to be an environmental and an impactful company, and it's one of the most valuable companies in the world. So this idea that you can have to make money, and that may not have impact, and if you want to have impact, it should be a nonprofit. This is just a mental model that is wrong, right? So if you look at the next 10 years, 9 years, there's something called the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and there's 17 of them. Okay. And basically the UN said, look, the world's in trouble, and we need to stop destroying the world. And here are 17 things that we can do for our societies and for the planet to make us live in harmony with the natural environment and live, above the poverty line, etc. And if we do all 17 things, we will live sustainably. And I believe we're going to hit those 17 goals by 2030, which is the target. And in order to do that, there are dozens, really hundreds. There's 169 goals, sub-goals to the 17. Okay. almost every one of them is at least one or more multi-billion-dollar businesses.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So if you're looking to work on something that has impact and can make money, and you're looking for a problem set, we've actually turned the 169 goals into businesses, what we call IKPIs, impact key performance indicators. And if you go to fi.co/for-progress, you can search. You can be like, I want to work on poverty. You literally have search fields to start searching for the IKPIs, searching through the sub goals, and it will show you business ideas that you can work on for profit that can be billion-dollar companies. But I would say that I'm gonna take it a step further. Sustainability is not the goal.
Then
we have it would be like bringing in a patient into a hospital that's been badly injured and being like, we'll keep you alive, but we'll leave your injuries in place. We won't actually try and fix you. We'll just keep you alive, right? We've done damage to the planet, and it is not enough for us just to get sustainable, because then we're going to keep an injured patient alive. We need to regenerate. So the 169 sub goals and the IKPIs are all multi-billion-dollar business ideas to keep the patient alive, and we definitely want to keep the patient alive. Right? But I also think we want to help that patient recover.
That's true. And
be even more positive, even better, right? And that's regeneration. So I think the Sustainable Development Goals present many billion-dollar ideas, and then this idea of regenerating the planet and making it even better is another set of many billion-dollar ideas.
Yeah. Thank you for highlighting that to us. And basically the clue is already there, the list is already there. You just, you can just choose which one that is really a solution, because the problem is already there. Because most entrepreneurs sometimes we think this is the solution, but actually it's not directly to tackle the world's problem. We think there's a problem according to our own perception, but it's not really the real problem out there, right? So when you already have the list, is very helpful. You can have the.
Can I talk about that as well with you for a second? And so I think that so at the Founder Institute, we spend a lot of time with founders, and you're going to spend a lot of time with founders. Aiming the gun, so to speak, right? So when, there's a joke, ready, fire, aim. That is modern entrepreneurship, is ready, fire, aim. People are like, I think I see a problem, right? And they don't do it. No research. They're like, children, they need more candy. Right? It's like, I don't know. Who said children need more? Do parents want to buy children? Who said that? I just know children need more candy. Okay. So spending time to understand the problem that you're trying to solve, working on the biggest possible problem that you are passionate about, making sure that problem really exists is very, very, very important. And that's called customer development. A lot of entrepreneurs, because they have these mental models that they've built up over years, in their mind, they're like, oh, kids need candy, for sure. And in fact, if they went out and spoke with parents, if they went out and spoke with kids, a lot of times their mental model is wrong, right? And even if you're incredibly open-minded, you will build a business on a mental model, not on reality. And I'll take this one step further. What is reality, right? Reality is what you make it. It's your mental model. So the most successful entrepreneurs have what's called the reality distortion field. And it's not, all you're doing is you're saying, if you get very successful, you say to people, what you think is wrong, and there's a better way. And, not to go back to Elon, but, I started working in space with Elon. Elon and I decided to go into working in space together. And we went out there and we're doing private space, and people laughed us out of the room. They're like, what are you two doing? Like, two .com, we were called .com millionaires, are coming to work in space.
Private space travel, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, space is the domain of governments and large companies. Okay. What are like two dudes? And we're like, no, we're gonna do stuff in space, and they literally laugh. They would laugh.
Okay.
And then not only that, Elon was like, I'm going to start a rocket company. And I'm like, okay, there's crazy, which you could argue we were by working in space to begin with. And then there's extra crazy, which would be creating a rocket company. You've gone extra crazy. And look what happened. He's vertically landing rockets. So if everyone thinks you're crazy, that's an opportunity for you to change the perceptions, to change reality, and turn it into what you believe is right. And you should never be, the bigger the problem that you work on, the crazier it will seem that you're going to be successful. But, right now, we need people working on really, really, really big problems. In fact, I would say you should challenge yourself to find the biggest problem that you're passionate about and work on it, because otherwise we're in trouble. I'll tell a story that is the world today, synopsized very simply. So we drilled giant holes in the earth in Australia to rip out stuff from the ground that we ship to China, and we turn into steel that we then ship to America to destroy an area of land and build a bridge so that we can have a road so that someone can travel an hour a day to a job that they don't like and doesn't matter. Okay? That's what we've built. We've built this destructive system, and no one's even happy, right? We've destroyed land in Australia, ruined the environment in China, and built something so that people can lose a couple hours a day commuting, doing something they don't even want to do.
Never thought of that until you brought it up.
It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This is what we've built, and this is what we're handing to our children, and we're saying, have a great life. No, that's not a great life. We need to reinvent everything that we do from the ground up so that our lives can be beautiful. The things that we work on are important, and that we can be proud of the planet that we are passing on to our children as an inheritance of a beautiful future.
Wow. it takes a lot of hard work, but it's possible, right? That's why we are not doing it alone. You need to have the whole world to have the same visions and really do it together. And that's why Founder Institute right now is not just in Silicon Valley, but it's all over the place, all over cities in the world, right? Yeah. What's your view?
We believe that everywhere there are entrepreneurs that see a vision for a brighter future and are ready to take the steps to realize it. And we're here to help however we can so that you can change the world around you and make it into something more beautiful for yourself, your family, your employees, your country, and the next generations.
Okay. What is your view on Asia startup, like especially in Indonesia? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, so look, in many ways, Indonesia is one of the most important countries in the world today because it has one of the largest amount of population moving into the digital economy of any other place on earth, right? So Indonesia has the largest number of human beings coming from a pre-internet society to a post-internet society right now. And so that's happened in much of the rest of the world, not everywhere. That's happening in Africa, that's happening in parts of the Middle East, and it's happening in Central Asia. But Indonesia, it's happening right now at the biggest scale anywhere on the planet. So I think the opportunity is enormous to really be thoughtful about what you want that world to look like, right? So you can look at models of the West, and I can tell you the internet is not doing well over here.
Really?
Twitter is disgusting. Facebook is not well. It has bad intentions, right? It's essentially selling your user information and treating you without respect. And so the internet models of the West right now are pretty poor. So I think Indonesia, with all this internet opportunity happening right now, has a real beautiful moment to make the internet what is right for you. And I know that like you have there's a lot of things about Indonesians. Indonesians like to have multiple SIM cards, and so you already are making a very unique form of the internet in Indonesia. And I would encourage you to think of how you can make the internet of Indonesia an Indonesian internet, a more beautiful internet. And then rather than copying the West, and I can tell you right now, the West has done a poor job. And one way it's poor is that there's a lot of older white men, I'm an older white man, that have built the internet, and it's not a very diverse, if you look at all the big companies, we talk about Elon, there's Jeff Bezos, there's, all these companies are run by older white men, right? And maybe Facebook with Zuckerberg's a little younger white man, but it's still somewhat older white men. So
yeah, but the older one have experience, have money, have connections to the market, have like everything, right?
Yeah, but we need the internet. If the internet is a tool to be used by the people of humanity, then it needs to represent the people that build the tools, the people that make the different components of the internet need to reflect the users, right? So we need women, different minorities, different sexual preferences involved in the leadership of the companies that form the backbone of this technology that's going to truly democratize access on the planet. And if it's just white men, that's not good.
Yes. Thank you for that. It's very encouraging to hear that. Yes, there's possibility the next Twitter, the next founder, the next YouTube come from Indonesia, right? Who knows?
Very likely. I hope so. Well, as I said, so many of the population of the world is moving online in Indonesia right now. You really, really do have a beautiful opportunity to make something new that can catch on to the rest of the world, not just in Indonesia.
Yeah. Thank you. Last questions. Any message or advice for the upcoming Founder Institute Indonesia's that's going to start in February? The founders?
Yeah. So look, I starting a company is hard, and the Founder Institute is also hard. Anyone who's graduated from the Founder Institute and gone on and built this successful business, they all say the same thing. The running the business is a lot harder than the Founder Institute. So what we're trying to do with the Founder Institute is prepare you for the challenges of building a company. So it's like training for a marathon, right? You don't just go out there and run 26 and a half miles. You go and do smaller runs and then longer runs and then longer runs until your body is ready to go. And entrepreneurship is very similar. It's a long distance, challenging endeavor. And you need to sort of prepare yourself to go on that journey. And the Founder Institute tries to cram as much preparation as possible into 3.5 months. And, 80% of the companies that we help to create are alive after 5 years. 65% of them are doing very well. So we prepare people much better than just on your own, because the failure rate on your own is inverted. About 80% of tech companies fail within 5 years. So we've inverted the failure rate by really preparing you. So what I would say is, if you're really passionate about the idea, it's not necessarily going to be easy. So stick with it and you'll build something meaningful.
Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the advice. And especially thank you for your time. Your sharing is really very insightful and very encouraging. And thank you so much for being an inspiration for people to achieve their greatness. And that's
hopefully everyone in the program will. And it's really been an honor and pleasure to work with you guys as well. I would love, please invite me to do some sessions in office hours with the different Indonesian teams. I'd love to meet the different founders in a group setting and one-on-one. So excited for that as well.
Yes, I'm looking forward to visit you in Silicon Valley when the pandemic is over. I'll come there and you guys come here, please. All right. So thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, most importantly. And stay happy.
You too, guys. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Eits, tunggu dulu. Jangan lupa untuk subscribe ya dan klik link di bawah ini. Jangan lupa juga untuk klik tombol loncengnya. Oke? Terima kasih.